And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Now let me get this straight. Men multiplied, and then after the men multiplied, daughters were born unto them. I like that. For once it seems that the Bible literalists and we decent folk actually agree. Biological sex and gender are different things. Men can have daughters after all. Who knew? Well, everyone who takes the Bible literally, apparently. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Really? The sons of God? Now, I thought there were only supposed to be one. That's not quite how the Son of God is supposed to behave. He's supposed to spend all his time hanging around with the boys in the wilderness. There must be lots of sons of God, almost as though it's a title for human leader or something, not unlike the Anointed One or Christ. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. That's it, God. Abandon your kids, why don't you? Typical deadbeat father. Yet his days shall be 120 years. That fits nicely into 70, doesn't it? So long as you don't count the first 50. Honestly, there are so many plot holes in this book, it's embarrassing. There were giants in those days. Well, giantism is a particularly fascinating evolutionary adaptation, especially happens on islands, or places that have no contact with the wider world, like the Near East, for example. That must be why everything in the Bible happens in such a limited area, almost as though God didn't know anywhere else existed. Except Marbella, of course. Adam and Eve told him all about Marbella when they got back from their honeymoon. And also, after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, now and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. That's nice. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, with every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. That's a little less nice, but oh hum, what are you going to do? God cursed all of Adam's offspring by setting Eve up with that bloody tree, so what did he expect? And it repented the Lord that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Obviously you didn't expect that. For an omniscient deity is pretty shit when it comes to predicting stuff, isn't he? And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. That's a bit unfair. What did the creeping things do to deserve that? And how, if nothing ever happens apart from God's plan, and he's omniscient, so knows everything in advance, how on earth could God repenteth anything? But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Well, somebody had to. I mean, how else could the Bible reprise the much older Babylonian story of Gilgamesh, with his big boat full of animals and food and shit? Definitely shit. Just wait till you see how much mucking out they've got to do. It must have been like painting the fourth bridge. God thinks you great, so he rewards you with a year of perpetual shit shoveling. Thanks, mate. Really nice of you. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, except for a small problem with alcohol. And Noah walked with God. At least he did when he could actually stand. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Tarquin. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Now look, God, you clearly don't have a problem with violence. What are you complaining for? Like father, like son, and all that. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Don't act all surprised, Yahweh. You knew this was going to happen from the moment you stuck that piggin tree in the middle of the garden. Everyone and his dog could see how that would turn out. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. An omniscient deity, and that's the best you could come up with. I mean, why not invest in a little training to teach men the error of their ways? Why not start evening classes in assertiveness as opposed to aggression? Or maybe some sobriety campaigns or proper sex education. There are shitloads of things you could have done before getting into genocide. Honestly, for a God of love, you really aren't very good at living up to your reputation. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. Now we're getting there. This is the bit you were all waiting for. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. That's 134 metres by 22 metres by 13 metres. Or if you're American, or a British dinosaur like me, you'll need it in proper money. That makes it 440 feet long by 72 feet wide by 43 feet high. And a window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. A window. A window. Just the one. A single piggin window for a boat that big. Bloody hell. It'll be like the Black Hole of Calcutta inside there. And the door of the ark shalt thou set on the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. See what I mean? 3 decks and only one bloody window. And all them animals breathing down below decks. They'll all suffocate within half a day. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. Except the fish. God likes fish, apparently. That's why he made Fridays. Cod and chips wrapped in newspaper with lashings of salt and vinegar, bloody marvellous. But with thee will I establish my covenant. Thou shalt come into the ark, and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And don't forget thy shovels. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. There shall be male and female, and fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive. Well, to keep the carnivores alive anyway. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be food for thee and for them. And don't forget the salt and vinegar, and the fishing rods too. Trust me, you're going to need them on Friday mornings. And thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded, so did he. It's little wonder he turned to drink, poor old bugger. He only had a grade 4 CSC in woodworking, and not one of them had trained in being a zookeeper, or even got any experience in shit shoveling. Tune in next time to see how they get on in Genesis chapter 7.